welcome back to another episode of Love and Gratitude. Oh, it's so nice to be back again because I have not been able to record an episode last week because I was sick and I was going through so much. You can't imagine. And the good news is I'm growing, and the bad news is I'm growing. So it's literally the hardest thing I'm going through right now because I don't know how it's been with you, but I feel like all of us, like my friends, my family members, everyone, including me, like when it's summertime, we all start to transform, kind of because we're always so busy and there's so many things going on in our lives. And it's just so funny because it's always at the same time every year. Like each year after May, the struggle starts, the stress starts, everything is happening all at once, And the funny thing is also that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago here in Germany, everyone was sick, okay? Everyone. And I'm not joking, really. Like, I don't know why, and I don't know why it was happening, but it was so weird. And maybe it's because of the chemtrails, maybe it's because of the vaccine, you never know. And I don't really trust the government. I don't really trust anyone because, I feel like they want to poison us because with the food, they're messing around with the food and with other things, with our lives, with our health. So I feel like we gotta protect ourselves more because, I really noticed that everyone was sick for no reason. And it's so weird. Like everyone has some random symptoms and I just can't explain, but I also have no answer to this, to that problem, because why is that happening all at once and all of a sudden? Because everyone was sick, really everyone, and everyone had like really weird symptoms, including me. Like at the end, I also got sick, and it was really bad. But I knew why I was sick because I had so much stress. I had exams and I don't want to manifest this right now. I don't want to put it into words. But what I noticed, and my friend actually told me this, he said, "Rookie, did you notice that every time before exams you're getting sick?" And as I said, I don't want to manifest this because, I don't want to be sick every time before exams, but it's always happening. And not just exams are happening, but also other things like problems and other struggles and identity crisis, and my sensitive ass couldn't handle that anymore. So I was really not able to record an episode last week. Not a single episode at all, and I'm so sorry, but here I am. I'm still alive. And also sometimes you gotta take a break, really. Like you have to take care of yourself first and of your energy and of your health, and you have to get back into your energy. And last week I was so done, really. I didn't want to talk to anyone, and especially on Monday I was so tired and I was so exhausted. And when I was at work, other guys, they were like looking at me and laughing at me. They were like, "Rookie, what's wrong with you? You act like you're on drugs." Because I was like, what? I couldn't understand. I couldn't digest what they were saying. I couldn't just work, I just couldn't focus on anything because I was so done with my life because I had so many exams. And, I'm learning so much right now. I'm learning so many things at once, which is crazy. But I'm also very happy and grateful for the opportunities and for the chances to grow because, also the hippocampus is also growing, and which I always wanted to happen. And the hippocampus is a part of your brain, by the way. And I always wanted it to grow. And finally, I think it's happening, but it's super exhausting. It's a process and it's a transformation for me. And as I said, I'm growing. That's the good news. That's a good chance, has a great possibility to improve myself. But also it's like the biggest struggle. It's like it's a huge stress. Like I can't explain really. Like I even got sick because of that, like literally. Because of the stress, and I couldn't handle it because it was too much. And I don't know how it's been with you, if you're like in a similar situation, if you're also struggling with something right now, or like if you're having problems or like stress or like appointments or exams or struggling at work, you know, struggling with people around you, struggling with your parents, with your brothers, with your sisters, whatever. I was having problems with my parents, with my brother. Oh my God, like really, like I wanted to punch him into his face. Really, like it was so bad. And of course I didn't do it, but I was about to do it, really, like, oh, I couldn't hold myself back because, how can he be so mean to me? I'm his older sister, and how can he dare to treat me that way? Because, at work I'm also struggling with some things because we have to learn so many things about everything. And I was also studying for the university exams, like for the upcoming exams. And so, I was dealing with a lot of things and nobody was really aware of that, like none of my family members or my friends. And, but now it's over, thanks God. It's still going on because it's a whole process, but I'm using the struggles and the problems as a chance to grow, because life is not linear. Life is like, it's crazy, it's not a straight line, it's not monotone, it's like the total opposite of monotone. And that's why, you have to always see it from the good side. You always have to, see it from the good point of view, like from the positive perspective. And in my previous episodes, I was talking about it's all about you. It's all up to you, up to your choice, up to your decision, up to you, how you want to see this, how you want to observe that situation and how you want to handle it, because you can choose, you can decide for it consciously. And of course, we're like all struggling with some things, and sometimes it can be too heavy, and it was too heavy for me. And I'm like still trying to get into my energy, But I feel like for a woman, it's even more difficult to, survive sometimes those situations, really like surviving, because, we are more sensitive human beings, we are more emotional, and we're all, we always feel it in a different way, and we always, we need help, and I need help, and I really saw this. And so there was a friend, and we saw each other randomly like 2 days ago, and then he was like, hey, do you want to go for a ride? And I was like, yeah, let's go, because I really like him and his energy. He's super calm and he always listens. And I saw him random, and then we started to talk and have this deep talk, and we were just like helping each other, because he was also going through some things, and I feel like everyone is going through some things right now. And but we always have to use it as a gift, because God wants us to grow, and God wants us to improve ourselves, because God is always watching you, and God is always there for you. And yesterday I was laying in bed, and I was like praying to God and feeling, the gratitude and the love, and feeling like God is everywhere. And I felt like I'm not alone, because last week I was feeling very lonely, because I was going through the things and I couldn't tell my parents, because sometimes, for me, not sometimes but always, it's very difficult for me to talk openly about my problems and about what I'm going through and about my my feelings. And so I was feeling very lonely, and I was feeling so bad. But now it's over. And what I want to say here is that it's super natural, it's a part of being a human, and it's a part of being a woman, especially because we women, we always feel certain things on a different level, and we always handle it in a different way, and especially me, I'm crying always because of everything. And and a few years ago I was getting bullied because of this from my brothers. They were bullying me. I mean, one brother, not both of them, but one brother, he was bullying me and he's still bullying me because of that. Or my dad even, he was saying, why you're crying? It's not a reason to cry. But for me it is, because that's the way I express my feelings, and that's the way I get rid of those negative emotions. And sometimes it's a horrible thing because I'm like, sometimes I hate myself because of that, because I'm like, Rookie, why are you crying again? It's just a little thing, but then I remember it's that time of the month again, so it's super normal. But also me as a human, as a person, like is crying and being emotional is a part of my personality. And so that's why it's just me, it's Rookie, it's Rookie. I mean, I can cry whenever I want and wherever I want. And last week, I was outside. I was on my way home. And then, something happened. To keep it short, something happened, and then I couldn't hold my tears back. So I really needed to let it out, and which is fine. But then I was sitting there on some stairs behind a building, and you know what happened? Oh my God, so sad, really. It was like an experiment, but it was not, because I was really feeling bad. But when I was sitting on the stairs and I was crying super loud and super like so much, and there were people, okay, they were walking by, and they saw me sitting there, a girl, and crying, and they saw me, and none of them, absolutely none of them said, "Hey, do you need something? Hey, is everything okay? Do you need help or something? Or do you want a tissue?" No, none of them said anything. They just ignored me. And I think that's like horrible. And I told this my mentor, and he was like, Rookie, first of all, have no expectations, okay? You can't have expectations and go through life with expecting people to treat you the same way as you treat others. But because for me, I feel like everyone else is the same way as I am. Because if I saw someone, especially a girl, crying there, or someone, it doesn't matter, or someone who needs help, or someone who's in need of help, I would go to that person and I would talk to that person. I would be like, "Hey, is everything okay? Do you need anything? Can I help you?" Or it's always, because we're humans, and that's so human. I mean, it's all about humanity, being a human, because we are all human beings and we're social beings. So I really didn't understand why people were ignoring me, and of course I didn't need their help, but it would be nice to hear it at least. And also, I called my brother, the other one, and I said to him, "Can you please come and pick me up?" Because I was crying, and then he immediately came and he helped me and he talked to me. But it was really scary to see how many people saw me. They were walking there, and none of them just said, "Hey, girl, is everything okay?" That's just really scary. Like, that's like a social experiment for me, but it was not an experiment. As I said, it was like real, because I was really feeling horrible. Sometimes you go through these things because it helps you to grow and it helps you to improve yourself. And sometimes it happens and you can't change it. And sometimes if you feel like you want to cry, then you just cry whenever you want and wherever you are, because it's your world and you're the main character. And if you need it at that time, then you do it, and you don't really care about others and about what others say, because you are you. And if you need it, if you want to do it, you do it. And that's with everything in life, it's not just about crying, but it's just, if you want to go for a coffee, if you want to go and eat pizza, you just go and you do it, and you don't wait for anyone, and you don't care about anyone else, because as I said, you have free will, and if you really want to do it, you go after it. Okay, but coming back to the struggles of life, or struggling with situations. And by the way, I wanted to talk about something else today, but I felt like this is what I want to talk about today, because I feel like it fits my life, and it fits maybe your life, like the topic that I'm talking about right now, because I feel like so many people are struggling with so many things in their lives right now, and especially, for example, with your parents or with your family or friends. Okay, I'm not struggling with my friends, but with my parents, we were like, sometimes it happens, and that's also part of being a human and being a family. Like it's totally normal and natural, but sometimes it's out of your control. And I'm always asking myself, what is in my control right now? What can I really change consciously? What can I decide and do differently? But some things in life are really out of your control, and then it's really up to you what you do and how you handle that situation. If you're egocentric, or if you handle it with being conscious and being together with your higher self, and also by surrendering, to the situation, and like accepting, because sometimes you really have to trust in yourself, and you really have to trust in God and say, okay, this is a situation that is happening to me right now. And don't even say me, say that is happening to Ruki. Ruki is sad. Ruki wants to cry, so I let her cry because she needs that right now. Sometimes I'm observing myself, and I talk about myself by observing myself, and by talking about myself, and by analyzing myself. Like I'm another person, like stepping out of yourself. Okay, so there are 10 powerful phrases that help me to grow. First, nothing changes if nothing changes. So as I said, either you decide for yourself, either you decide to take action and to change something, or nothing will change, okay? It is never too late to start the thing. And also for me, right now, I'm really chasing my dreams and my goals. So that's why it's super heavy for me. Like, everything is happening all at once. But if, as I said, like, you have to do something in order that your life can change, or you can change, because you also have to change your personality. You can change your personal reality, and you can change your life by changing yourself. And it always starts within yourself. So if you want to do something, and if you want to go after it, then you just do it, And so also, it's never too late. So if there is a sign, or if there are signs from God or from the universe, and if something is being reminded to you, then you just go after it, okay? And if you say, maybe if you're 50 or 60, and if you talk to yourself in a negative way and say things like, oh, maybe it's too late, or maybe I shouldn't do it. No, then you really have to go for it. That's the perfect time to do it, okay? Yes, there will be ruptures, but focus on the repair. And then sometimes it is always you. Okay, not just sometimes, but it's always you. It's always you versus you, and it's always you with you, okay? It's always in your control, and it's always up to you. And as I said, you're the main character of your life, and you can do whatever you want, and there are no borders. Sky is the limit, and the world is yours. Also, listen to your body, because your body knows, especially your stomach, your gut feeling, which is called your intuition. I also noticed that my intuition is always telling me what I want or what I don't want, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what I should decide for or what I shouldn't decide for. And that's why you really have to go in and, focus on yourself, on your higher self, and be aligned with your higher consciousness, and listen to your intuition, and then go after what it tells you, okay? And not your ego. Also, self-compassion releases you, and judgment never will. So be careful with your thoughts. Do not judge yourself. Do not judge others. Because, when you don't judge yourself, you will also not let others to judge you. Because then you will feel like, who are you to judge me even? Who are you even? And so you really have to be confident and have that self-compassion, be really confident about what you want and what you're doing. And, always stay confident in every situation. Sometimes it is okay to be emotional, but then remember who you are, and that life always continues. Another message is that not everyone will get you, because they're not your people. And if you feel like they're not understanding you, or they're not vibing with you, or they're not sharing the same energy as you, or they're not really understanding, then it just simply means that you should distance yourself from these people, to protect yourself and to protect your energy, which is very healthy, okay? So do yourself a favor and only surround yourself with people who are really helping you, supporting you, loving you, and always, appreciating you and giving you love and gratitude. And the opposite of your gut feeling, of your intuition, is your inner critic. And your inner critic should not be your guide. And your guide should be always your intuition and God, of course, and the signs of God and the signs of the universe. Choose people who choose you. Choose people who love you. And choose people who have a positive and pure energy, okay? Because, you should always invest your energy in people who are appreciating your energy and your presence, okay? And your love and your help and your support. And it should be also the other way around. Deep, honest conversations with yourself are hard, but sometimes the only way. And that leads to being reflective about yourself and being in a state of observation and observing yourself and analyzing yourself, as I said, and always appreciating the good and the bad in your life. Because, as I said, life is not linear, okay? Life can be hard sometimes, but that is the perfect way to grow. Challenges, times of hardship, that is a gift from God, and God always wants you to be better. God is always helping you, and you should see it from the good perspective. You should see it from the good side. And I know it sounds very simple and it sounds easy from my side, but life is too short, and why should you be sad? And my last message is, be the energy you want to attract. And I think it's beautiful. And to end this episode with a cute little quote I saw on the internet today: wait too long to eat a fruit and it will rot. Stop waiting for the right time, just say it, act on it, feel it. And I just absolutely love it. It's giving me energy, it's giving me motivation, and it's giving me some sparkles, and I love that so much. So I hope you can use it for yourself too. And always think positive and always stay with love and gratitude. I'm wishing you a beautiful week.